Hi, my name's Jane Andersen, and I'm the Arizona State Lead for Mormon Women for Ethical Government, and I lead Valley Leadership's Civic Engagement Impact Team. I have 4 children and 1 daughter. When she was little, I bought her a shirt that says, "I will be your president one day." I think it's really important for women to understand that they need to show up in all spaces. They don't need to be pegged simply because of who they are or what they look like. And absolutely that women have choices to be whatever they want to be, whether they want to focus on their family as a mom, or whether they want to be a professor, or whether they want to be in elected office. I just think it's very important for women to recognize that their unique voices make a difference in whatever sphere they decide to have their influence. Women were excluded from civic spaces, not even just informal civic spaces, but we didn't have the ability to vote. So obviously there's been structural barriers that we've had to overcome in our nation to get women more in civic spaces. But even when we were able to push through those structural barriers, there's also other informal barriers that I think keep women from participating. Imposter syndrome, I think, is something that women especially can fall victim to. You kind of think, what do I have to offer? If I'm not an expert, is my voice valid? It takes time and it takes some familiarity of women in civic spaces to feel that confidence that they can really step forward and make a difference. You know, if you look at the history of public policy, before women were given the right to vote, there were certain issues that weren't addressed by legislative bodies because the people who were most concerned simply weren't in those spaces. In fact, right now, I think in the Senate, we have a majority of women in Arizona, and that's an amazing accomplishment for our state. And it makes a difference to have women that are elected in those spaces because they're simply focused on things that are different when it was just men. We want women to recognize that their unique voices are very valued, and also that our best solutions will only come when we have a diversity of voices. If we have everyone showing up in a civic space having the same perspective, we're clearly not going to get the best outcome. I remember I was in undergraduate school and I studied economics, and I was often the only girl in my major. And I remember going into a lab, and I had just received my first job offer to work on Wall Street. And it was kind of a competitive process, and I had gotten the offer, and there's other people that had interviewed, and I walked in and I heard one of my classmates say, "Jane got it because she's a girl." And I remember replying, "Or I got it because I beat you on all the tests this semester." And so I think it's important for women to know that even though there's no more structural barriers for the most part, there's still going to be people who have misconceptions of what people's abilities are, and let them have those misconceptions and then just prove them wrong.